Good afternoon. I believe you have good lunch. It is my pleasure to be here at the conference with the key group of the Unesco Creative Network Series leader, mayor, and distinguished delegate and friend. I'm SoonIn, and I will be making the presentation as you may pick up ideas from the subject. I'm hoping that my presentation will stimulate in-depth this discussion on how we should understand the concept of the creativity and the generational context of the sustainable city. I would like to make my presentation with the following contents. The first, the PowerPoint. Yes, thank you. I would like to make my presentation with the following contents. The first, how should we define the sustainable city these days? And I will follow up with what role of the creativity must take in this sustainable city. Particularly, please direct your attention on the importance of the design thinking in my proposal on the cooperation amongst the member city of the Unesco Creative City Network for creative education based on the design thinking. What is the sustainable city today? Today, approximately 3.3 billion people live in urban city, which represent about half of the total world population of the 6.7 billion. The trend of increasing population in the city will continue to accelerate, and by the year 2050, with anticipation of the total world population of around 9.2 billion, almost 70% of the population, or about 6.4 billion people, is expected to live in the city. Since the first stage of the creative city concept of the Jane Lagos and Richard Florida of the USA have initiated discussion on what is the good city for mankind. Since then, new ideas on the creative city have been present, and the concept of the creative city started to be organized. And the sustainable city can be defined as a city that continues, maintains, grows, and transformed by the reinterpreting and the recreating the regional unique and traditional value into the modern day value to form a future value for the urban community. I believe that we have debate about the sustainability based on the continuous cycling past, present, and future value chain possessed by a city. What must we maintain and what must we transform or develop? The target to the question are the city's urban environment, year of its historical and the traditional culture, and the way of the life formed through the activity. Such fact including the city unique eatings, behavior, dressing culture, architecture, housing design, art, as well as cultural form, conceptual ritual. Ultimately, such factor will become the source or the origin of the creativity. The target for creativity is a sustainable city, including the geographical and environmental factor that form the city in addition to the social and cultural element. In other words, the target of the creativity for the creative industry. What's important here is that each city must independently find out, acknowledge its own unique traditional identity for creative activity, and must recognize that the city must mutually respect other cities and collaborate to create a future value for the entire world. Most of all, the creative activity and the creative industry must be spearheaded by today's younger generation. What is the creativity pursued by the Unesco Creative City Network? Identify the tradition and distinctive value of the network city to maturely give recognition and respect to the distinctive value among the city, particularly form a worldwide urban community that promote creative activity of the young generation. I believe that we are now at the point in which we must develop a strategy tool for developing creativity, which is the essential factor for developing for sustainable city. By allowing the access to the know-how, knowledge, information, experience of the designated city through the cooperative network among the creative city. The creative city network can be supported to develop their unique creative communities by adding their experience, know-how, project implementation capabilities, and technologies of the creative city to the international cooperative project, and through such effort, the member of the city of the network can support emerging country in which the culture industry has not yet matured to enter the international market. It is my idea. When you think design city, you must consider 6 key words, the UNESCO, with the strategic object of the creating city of the design, together with the people, is the strategy for achieving the future and creative cultural value and benefit for city as the UNESCO creative city. And it is to make marketing as well as the campaign concept for successfully completing policy object. Next. Universal through the implementation of the city design policy for all the citizens. The networking formation of the city citizen community that facilitate flawless communication among the city government, corporation, and the citizen. The next. Economics maximize economic value through the creation of a new job and vitalizing creative industry. Service stability. Creative design guidelines sustainable oriented with their future value for the next generation. Communication design seeks that is the forefront of the promoting exchange and the cooperation of the other city identity. Originality, determination to create a city's unique design culture that is differentiated and stands out in the international community. I showed some Seoul example. The capital city of the Seoul has carefully preserved its unique culture value left from 600 years of the Joseon dynasty. Today, based on the creativity and to develop their assets into the sustainable future value. Today, I would like to emphasize design thinking as the core strategy and the tool for the creative city network, and our creative activity, as previously mentioned, the unique tradition of the city can only be transformed into future value through creative activity of the young generation of the city. The young generation have exceptional capability of portraying their unique tradition in their own generation context. Design thinking is the strategy and the tool for creating their creative output, and implementing creative activity is such a process. The next. Design is just one of the tools for implementing the creativity. Design is a creative process, is only a tool and not the objective. The young generation created the future value of a sustainability form in their own way, their own style, and their own test through the design. The next. It's a mindset of combined creative and analytical thinking and applying it towards solving a specific problem. So design field is now the overlap and so much the confused and multidisciplinary. So I would like to show one of the examples. So one of the examples to show the motion picture, what design thinking is doing. One of my students did. This is one of the good examples. Design thinking once more. What is the design thinking? Design is not anymore starting with design. Design is more strategy design and the solution of the method. Next. You showed this motion if it displayed the G20's SoonIn meeting to show every 20 national to show we have displayed the dance with the Hangul. The example, the Korean alphabet system is composed of the 28 characters. They can be combined to create any of the old words. And the system has been globally recognized of the same scientific advancement and great concept. The unique body movement of the traditional dance in England, the Morris dance, together with the creative interpretation of the Korean alphabet, has created them both as a creative output and the geometrics, the symbol of the modern generation. So I like to propose the design thinking can become an important source of the drive for the younger generation and their activity of the future value of sustainability. And with this perspective, the Open Design Thinking Education Network as the forum for sharing youth creativity in which the younger generation, throughout the city, the world can fully express their unique way of improving, transforming, and advancing their prospective city in modern day context. It will include annual activities of the identifying the unique value of each city, competition of the expression of the future value, creativity youth camp, as well as the research presentation and the showcase of the best practice model of the activity of the younger generation for sustainability city in the actual city environment. The project will be promoted to identify each city's distinctive value. In addition, the best practice of the activity for sustainability city will be selected at the present, like this conference today. The Creative City Network aims to facilitate access to the know-how of the cooperating network city to contribute toward the development of the creativity, which is recognized as the essential factor for achieving sustainable city. The future value implemented by the young generation through the design thinking is the core driving force. I propose to build the ordinate to promote young generation in each city throughout the world to have the desire to recreate their city into today's context and to transform and advance of their city. This is one of the examples to show how we research, design. It's like the eating food and each the cities, how they eat. This is one of the examples for our archetype for design trend. The creative industry is OECD members country have shown ability of the growth rate of 5 to 20%, and it's rooting itself as the key industry sector in each country. Even as we speak, creative activity in various cities through the world is taking place at this moment. I sincerely hope that we will be able to utilize this session to set the path for the leveraging such activity to achieve sustainable growth and advancement. Thank you for attention.